You know, this is the one time where I disagree with the name localization, because unlike Ritu or Loomis, they both sound fairly the same as the Japanese pronunciation, but Molu is the way she introduced herself, and it's very different from how you say Molu, so I'm just calling her Molu then.
私はキャットリン学のケイ、ムール。キャットリンとの実りある出会いをもたらそう。
Molu is a scholar that is obsessed with Cait, and she is also broke. Molu is voiced by Takahashi Rie, but the sad thing though is that she does not have a voice line where she go EXPLOSION! Compared to the JP version of Molu, she got one big buff to her is that she got her first and only AoE that she have, the 3x80 fire AoE, also known as Arde Ignis. Oh yeah, and she also have a buff where she can now debuff the enemy physical attack now with one of her fire skill, but you probably won't use that much anyway. Other than her usual standard scholar skill, she also have a physical dodge and also a 3-hit tome for her to use. Other than that, she's just a very normal scholar. Like, just imagine her as Odette, but with a slight bit better AoE and only one element only. The first passive is a standard scholar damage up. Her second passive make her very strong against fast enemy like Gacho for example, cause you can break the enemy first before they can act and do a massive damage to your team. When we get to the strength part, like there isn't that much to praise her for. She's just simply good at what she do. She do fire damage, she do fire multi-hit, she do fire AoE, she's just very good at it. Before I would put one of her weaknesses is that she lack an AoE cause in the JP version, Molu does not have any AoE fire skill at all, so she's only for single target, but they fixed that in the English version, so the only weakness is that sometimes you don't want her passive to go off first because she always guaranteed to act first, and you want her to be the one to deal the big damage, and if you boost max, she has to be the one to go first, so she might lose some damage breaking the enemy shield. But this is not really a problem because in the future there will be an option for you to turn on passive, so she doesn't really have any big weaknesses. Currently, Molu is the best fire DPS in the game. When compared to Cyrus, the damage difference is not that big, but because Molu has fire debuff, it makes her slightly better than Cyrus. In the Land of the Rising Sun, Molu is currently the third best fire DPS in the game, fallen behind by Frederica and Cyrus. I put Cyrus higher than Molu here because despite the fact that Molu do have fire debuff and Cyrus does not, Molu in the JP version do not have any AoE at all, so she is less versatile compared to Cyrus. Oh, and she's also very strong against a certain Mayor in Vulcan Village, because the Mayor is very fast and also deals some very big damage, so Molu can always break the Mayor shield first before she can do any big damage to the entire team. Honestly, the best way to compare Molu is not to Cyrus, it's to Odette, despite the fact that they have different weaknesses. Disregarding the fact that Odette can cover 2 different elements and Molu can only cover 1, Molu is better than Odette here, mainly because she has a better AoE than Odette. Everything else is the same, a 3-hit debuff, a 260 nuke, very much almost the same base magic attack with 409 and 414. Although compared to Odette, Molu can only cover 1 element, but the point here is that Molu is just as strong as Odette, and despite the fact she's only 1 element and less versatile as she have, she's basically an Odette for fire. And I'm saying that because I think everyone knows by now that Odette is very strong, so having Molu on your team is extremely helpful against enemy that's weak to fire. Honestly, compared to the other character that got released in the past where they got an improvement buff, Molu is the most significant one because it covers her biggest weakness is that her lack of AoE, and that they give her like one of the best AoE fire skill in the game, so Molu is very strong now. Also, I kind of find it funny that Molu does not need a buff, but they give her a buff that is more significant than the other character who need a buff more desperate like Maruso or Holly or Leono. So now Molu's like jumping up a whole tier, now she's on like Odette level up tier now. So, in conclusion, if you want to fire Odette with a better AoE, then pull a Molu, cause Molu is that strong.